Hi everyone. So today I'm going to be showing you how easy it is to make a soy candle. Anyone can do it, guys, with just a few tips and tricks, a few supplies, and a few ingredients. So let's go over this starting now. A scale is very important to have in the candle making process. Everything is about science and measurements, so you're going to want to need one. You're going to want to use one, sorry, that measures out in fluid ounces. Anyone will work. Don't think you need to spend a lot of money on one. I found this one on Amazon. Next, a funnel. We all know how expensive fragrance oil is, so we don't want any spillage with that. That jug is pretty big behind me there, so I use this funnel to measure out my fragrance oil. I find it very helpful. Next, we're going to use wick stickers. Wick stickers are important for the wicks to be placed into the jars or the tins. I find those on Amazon as well. Today I'm using these tins. I use these tins for my bulk orders, but I do have jars as well. You can find the link below to my site. This torso of a pen is so important. I found this tip online. You just disassemble it. Any ballpoint pen will work. And it really helps with the wicks going into place without any messiness. You could just, like you see here, just get it right in exactly to where you need to go. It's a great tip. So again, try that out. It will help you a lot. Ballpoint pen, anyone. Wicks, obviously. Wicks are really important. I find the low smoke ones are the best with no chemicals, no zinc. They're really great. I find these also on Amazon. Everything will be linked below, so you can find it there. Wick clips. Wick clips are important for placing your, as you can see right there, it goes right on, and then you'll have your wicks in place, and it will help as the candle is drying. You'll need a pot. Any pot will work. Temperature gauge. That temperature gauge came with my pot. Try to stay away from plastic. You can use glass or a jug like mine. I have my chips inside that pot already there, the soy. I use 464. And then obviously my fragrance oil. My fragrance oil is next. This is a beautiful scent from Makesy. It's vanilla cashmere. You can find it on their site. That's actually a heat plate in the background. If you see, I missed that as well too. You're going to want that for your pot when it comes off the stoves to just put it right on so that it doesn't ruin your counter. Okay, so let's start making our candle. Okay, so I just put my wax. My wax is already in my metal pot. I'm using about 30 ounces today. I'm going to put it in my pot filled with about a little bit under halfway with some water. I'm turning my temperature up high. You will have to do this based off upon your own stove. Mine gets really hot at about an 8. So I'm going to put it there. And I'm also going to have my heat plate sitting right next beside, just so that I don't ruin my counter because that wax will be hot. So now I'm just going to wait for my wax to liquefy. Okay, so I have just removed my pot off the stove. It's at 180, perfect temperature. I'm going to now let it cool down to about 170, 175 before I add my fragrance oil. You do not want to do that before it reaches 175. Okay, so now we're at the stage where we're going to be adding our fragrance oil. So we are going to use our scale. We are going to put our cup on it, and then we're going to tear it out. Use a sustainable cup. Do not use paper or plastic. The fragrance oil will eat right through it. So as you see, I'm tearing it out. And how I distinguish how much I use is I use a simple formula where I take my ounce of wax, which is 30, and I times it by the percentage of oil I'll be using, which is 0.07. And then I get 2.0 one from that. I will be going a little over with it, but that's okay. I don't mind using an extra fragrance oil for my candles, but this is how you're going to get a really nice smelling candle. This is the easiest formula to use when distinguishing how much to add. So as you see here, I'm using my funnel, I'm adding, and then I'm just going to pour that right into my wax. Okay, as you can see, my wax has definitely cooled down to 170, which is the perfect time to add my fragrance oil. So I just pour that on in. And then I'm going to take my spoon and I'm just going to stir that in generously. Keep stirring until you get a nice even mix. Okay, so as you can see, I have my tins here all prepared. So I'm just going to pour in that wax very slowly. I don't like to have any kind of spillage on the sides, so I go very, very slow. And you can see here, we're just going one by one. You're definitely going to want to have a 24-hour window here of setting these up. So I won't be removing the wick clips until the next day. I make my candles fresh for every order. So with soy, it's kind of nice to do it, you know, for your orders the day before if you can. But yeah, we're just going to pour that wax on in. You know, make sure it's in a well-ventilated place. You're not going to want this in a place that is very humid. Make sure if, you know, you don't have air conditioning, you're putting it up in the basement. But this is what it looks like. It's going to look like until the next day.
Okay, so it's the next day. We have our candles. They've set up beautifully. You know, one thing you have to know about soy wax is it can definitely have some frosting effects, or it can be a little uneven, but that's just because it's very natural. It's a lot denser than paraffin, but these have set up beautifully. As you can see, before I do remove the wicks, there's no holes or, you know, funneling, so they're beautiful. I'll just show you the next one. So now all we have to do is just remove. So we're just going to gently remove and gently remove that. Beautiful, beautiful turnout. As you can see, again, they've turned out beautiful. I have not cut them yet, but this is what they look like. Perfectly set up. You're gonna wanna give them 24 hours always. Always give them 24 hours. Don't get overzealous and wanna do it before that. Soy wax definitely needs to be set up properly, and you are gonna wanna do this in a temperature that is very cool, okay? Not humidity. Run your AC if you have to, it will pay off in the end. Soy wax definitely needs a cooler environment to set up. So now we're just going to take them and we're gonna cut them about here, just for now. Cut these ones. You're gonna wanna do about an inch from the top. Just discard of those, and voila, you have your soy candle, just perfectly beautiful for you. Stay tuned, join me in the next video. I will be showing you how to make a crystal candle. So this is how my candles look before I add my crystals to them. But I typically sell crystal candles, but this is how you make a soy wax candle. So voila.